In a previous lesson, I talked about the warrior's dilemma. And the warrior's dilemma, if you recall, is that the very skills that warriors learn using violence to uh, fight the enemy and kill the enemy uh, actually threatens the society that they protect. Why? Because they learn and are habituated toward behaving violently, and then that same behavior is used when they come back into peacetime into that society. Well, this is caused by having an either or mindset. Okay, where from a warrior's perspective, it's kill or be killed, either kill or be killed. They're fighting against the enemy. Okay, so we can also have the tendency to have this kind of a mindset in our climbing or in our lives. And it creates a separate ego identity. When we look at the world through an either or lens, it separates us from what we're actually a part of. So how many times have you asked yourself the question of who am I? So you're going to get very different answers to that question if you have this either or separate kind of idea of who you are, as opposed to uh, an extended, interconnected understanding of who you are and how you fit into the world. So how do you shift this perspective? You shift it toward a both and perception, a both and understanding of how you interact with this world. So in other words, you can think of it this way. I am both an individual and not an individual. Now that might sound strange, but you're an individual, yes, because you're responsible for how you behave, and how you direct your life. You're not an individual because you really can't do anything alone. You can't even breathe without air. You can't walk without stepping on the earth and being supported by it. You can't have a conversation with someone else without someone else. You can't even climb without the rock being there. So in a sense, you need to understand yourself beyond just this individual ego identity that you create for yourself. In climbing, you're both an individual. You're responsible for your own training, developing your skills, and you're not an individual because in order to create a performance, you need the rock, and in order to create a beautiful performance, one that might achieve the flow state, you need to find a way to blend with the rock. In other words, where the whole of the performance is more than just the sum of the parts. Now, the performance is not just the climber and the rock, and then you're stacking those on top of each other to get a whole. No, it's the integration of climber and rock, that actually creates the beautiful performance. If you're looking at you against the rock, fighting against gravity, then you merely survive. You survive the climbing experience. But what you really want is you want to thrive, I think. And in order to thrive, the both and mindset can help you do that. How do you do it? You lower your defenses. You're not defensive when you're climbing. You're not defensive when you're in an argument with your partner. So gravity is your friend. You align with gravity by relaxing, by loosening your grip, so that gravity's steady pull can ground you on how you're connected to the rock, on your legs, which is the main way that you're supported, in your climbing. Climber and rock come together to create this beautiful performance. So for a practice tip, I think it's really valuable to work the extremes when you want to find the way to develop a skill. So you can find the extremes by climbing where you're really over gripping. Like, see what that feels like to climb that way, where you're tense and you're over gripping, and see how that feels as far as your connection with the rock. And then this other extreme is like to climb with a really loosened grip. Okay, here you might want to do it on top rope because you're probably the whole intention is to loosen your grip so much to where you'll probably fall off, and you don't want to be hesitant to loosen your grip because of fear of the fall. But climb in these two extreme ways, and then find the middle. Climb paying attention to just the right amount of grip and body tension to do the moves, for the climbing. If you notice tension, relax it so that you and the rock can become one beautiful performance. All right. So you can get more information about this particular lesson on our blog at warriorsway.com. And that's your lesson for this week.